Awesome, guys. Well, hopefully now everyone can see my screen. And listen, this is exciting. This is always exciting for us. Every single week we get a chance to really kind of kick back and talk to people all over, not just all over North America. I am the director of sales for North America, but I know we do have people chiming in from around the world. So it's always very exciting for us to have the opportunity to talk to a worldwide audience about exactly what's happening here with Cerule. And I think every week, I mean, more and more people begin to realize that the timeliness of this company, the timeliness of our products, as well as the timeliness of our opportunity. And I hope that if you're here for the first time, by the time that I'm completed here tonight, you're going to agree with that. You're going to see the value proposition that it is that we are offering here. And you're going to understand that this at least bears your true consideration. So my job here is simple tonight, or I say tonight, but I know for some of you it's today, depending on where you are. My job here is very simple. It's to answer three really critical questions for you. Number one, who are we? Who is Cerule? Number one is, what is it that we do? And number three, I think, is the most important question. Why should you care? I mean, it's great if we're a great company doing something awesome, hooray for us, right? But someone called you up or reached out to you through social media or some other type of device and just insisted that you needed to be a part of this webinar. Why was it important that you were here? And I think that's what we're going to spend the majority of this webinar on. In fact, the entire second half is going to be spent answering that question number three. So grab a pen, grab a piece of paper. I want you to be able to write down any questions that you have as we progress through this. Any questions that you have, get them written down. And at the conclusion of the webinar, you can get back to the person who invited you on and they can get your questions answered, or they can get you on the phone with some of our field leadership. They might even be able to get you on the phone with me if needed and get your questions answered. And then you can at least make an intelligent and educated business decision. So let's kind of get into this and talk about Cerule. And Cerule is a biotech company that sells proven one-of-a-kind wellness products. We believe that not only is extraordinary possible, but our collective success comes when we speak the truth, work hard, care deeply about our customers. Now, at the helm of Cerule, two incredible gentlemen, Jonathan Lester and Andy Goodwin. These are our two co-owners. Listen, combined, they have well over 50 years of experience of building large distribution networks throughout the world with some incredible products. They've been very successful at it, not only do they have the mind for it, the background, the experience that you would expect to come there, but they have the heart for it. A heart that is really about caring about other people and really having a true desire to get the very best products into the hands of people around the world who desperately are looking for those types of products. And they've done very well there. In fact, in just over 4 years, Cerule already had an incredible track record. They were able to expand to about 40 different countries around the world, but that just got enhanced. We just launched a new initiative that allowed us to open up almost another 40 countries. So right now we're being very well represented. So no matter where you are down in from the world, we are either there or we're coming there, right? So and maybe that's why somebody got you on to the webinar tonight, but it's pretty exciting what we've been able to accomplish here in a really short time. Now, we'll tell you a large part of the excitement about Cerule, a large part about why we've been able to expand so fast is because of the success of this one product, StemEnhance ULTRA, which was our flagship product. This was the one that started it all, that got everybody excited. And I think for most companies, if they were so fortunate as to come out the gate with a product this strong, literally hit a grand slam on your first at bat, most people would say, hey, that's it, I'm done. We're just going to ride the wave of this one product and be done. But the vision of the ownership here went way beyond that. Once they had this one product and once they had established themselves as a really disruptive force, if you will, in the health and wellness industry, that was really bringing a lot of attention to a new way for people to accomplish optimal health. Cerule kept going. They then went out and launched a product called Plasma Flow, which was for circulation and support. A product called Cyactive, which was for inflammation in joint, and then Cyactive Joint, which was also for inflammation in joint. And then finally, they went out and launched a skincare line because they felt that, hey, if they were going to do all the things to aggressively address all of your internal concerns, then they wanted to be able to address the external concerns as well, taking care of that largest organ that is with the human body, which is your skin. And a lot of people realize that it requires a lot of care, and we wanted to make sure we were giving people the opportunity to care for that at the highest level. Now, for the purpose of this webinar, I want to be really respectful of your time. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk in detail about StemEnhance ULTRA. I'm going to explain to you the formulation of it, the ingredients, the science behind it, et cetera. But I want you to understand that, all of our other products are actually created and with the same level of care, same level of ingredients, same level of scientific studies, everything. So if you like what you see here and you're interested in any of these other product lines, be sure to get back to the person who invited you onto the webinar. They can get you as much information as you need or as you want to be able to make an educated decision if these are the products that you're looking at. Now, to tell you about StemEnhance ULTRA, though, I have to start off by explaining something that has a critical role in your body, and that is your body's own adult stem cells. And your body's adult stem cells are very unique for two primary reasons. Number one, they're one of the only cells in your body that has the ability to continue to replicate themselves throughout your entire lifetime. But here's one of the most important key characteristics about adult stem cells that's really important, is that they can differentiate into different types of cells. So an adult stem cell, your own adult stem cells, can become nerve cells, if your brain needs additional nerve cells. They can become cardiac cells for your heart, muscle cells for your muscles, et cetera, et cetera. They can do that throughout your entire lifetime. As a result, they actually represent your body's natural repair and renewal system. Now, the way that this works is actually very simple, and it's actually pretty biologically genius, if you will, because it's the way that your body has evolved to operate, and it's pretty powerful. When your body has damaged or aging cells, they send a signal to your bone marrow. And the reason why your bone marrow is because that's where your adult stem cells are actually sequestered within your own bone marrow. Once your bone marrow receives that signal that, hey, we need some help out here, it then will release those adult stem cells. I like to call them your little microcellular repairmen, if you will. I just kind of picture these little microcellular guys with their tool belts and like, what needs fixing, right? And they're released out into your bloodstream. And once they're in your bloodstream, they're then going to migrate to the impacted area, wherever that signal came from. When we said, hey, we got some damaged or aging cells or some broken down tissue or whatever, they're going to migrate to that area. And once they get to that area, they're going to actually enter into whatever tissue or whatever organ basically sent out the help signal, and they're going to start to multiply and turn into brand new healthy versions of the cells that were damaged or aging. So in effect, this is your body's way of saying, hey, listen, out with the old, in with the new. They're constantly going in and they're repairing your body. They're replacing the cells, and they're doing all the things that are necessary to allow your body to now get the impact of brand new cells, right? So if you really think about it, it's a really simple way of looking at this. And it's simply this: the more adult stem cells that your body has in circulation, the more renewal and repair that's going on. And the more renewal and repair, well, your body's now basically benefiting from optimized brand new cells, the healthier you are. So the connection there is pretty simple, pretty straight line, but it's also pretty exciting. Now, on the other side, the less adult stem cells that your body has in circulation, the less renewal and repair, which means now your body is trying to operate every single day, every single night, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, with cells that are dying, or aging, and not being effectively replaced. And if that happens, well, ultimately, it's going to manifest itself in your body in a myriad of negative ways that you don't want. So it's said that, most people in most disease states, scientifically proven, they usually have less than half of the circulating stem cells of a healthy person. There's a direct connection there between the less healthy stem cells and the way that it manifests itself negatively in your body. Now, a lot of people actually wonder the question, well, why does stem cell circulation go down? And unfortunately, it just naturally happens as we age. At the age of 20, it's said that your stem cell release is actually at 100%. So, I know the young people get everything, right? They get everything. And by the age of 50, your stem cell rate is down to about 50%. So 50% of what your body was doing at the age of 20, you're now doing at the age of 50. And by the age of 65, you're down to 10% efficiency. So 10% of the circulation levels that you had at the age of 20. And you can probably remember that, right? If you're closer to 50 or closer to 60, you remember that when you were 20, it seemed like you could bounce back from anything, right? You could break a bone and, somehow magically it'd be healed up in no time flat. And as you get into your 50s and your 60s, you stub a toe, and that's a national emergency, right? That might take you 3 years to recover from. And it's all because of these adult stem cells, the lack of availability in your body as you get older, they're not able to go around and do all that repair and replace as fast. So it takes a lot longer for your body to basically renew itself. And that's a big deal. Now, in case you're in your 20s right now and you're kind of high-fiving whoever invited you on, say, well, I'm good then. I don't need this stuff because I'm in my 20s. So I'm at that 100% level. Think again, because lifestyle can also dramatically increase that decline of your stem cell circulation. So if you're under stress, I don't know too many people who aren't these days, right? If you've got poor sleep habits, if you have a lot of toxins in your body, poor diet, right? Poor exercise habits or illness, all of these things can rapidly create a decline of your stem cell availability in your body. So you can be 24 years old, but because you have some of these other factors, you could have the stem cell circulation of a 50-year-old or a 60-year-old. So you're not necessarily just in the clear because of your age group is what I'm trying to explain to you. Now, we asked a critical question here, though, at Cerule, and this is really the genesis of what actually led to the creation of this company and the products behind it. The question we asked was, listen, we understand what happens with stem cell availability goes down, but what if there was a way to have it go up? And I don't just mean over a course of a long time, like a year or a month or a week or even a day. But what if you could actually have people's stem cell count go up, the availability and circulation, multiple times a day if required? What would that mean? And I mean, think about this for a minute. Stem cells literally can become anything, right? So if they can become brand new heart cells, it means they could give you better circulation. That's going to help a lot of people, right? They can become new kidney cells, better detoxifying skin, cartilage cells, better movement, and most important for a lot of people, less pain, better lung cells, right? Better breathing and immunity, better vision, blood sugar regulation, detoxing and energy, memory, concentration, and focus. Listen, the list is endless. In fact, a lot of times when people actually start using our products, they come back with this wide varieties of personal testimonials. And, so wide of a variety that if you don't understand why, you could say, well, this can't be real. There can't be one product that somebody's utilizing that is causing all of these different areas of the body to have a positive impact. That can't be real until you understand that we are not actually giving you some type of magic, right? We're not giving you some magic or something that's targeting. We're basically optimizing your body's own renewal and repair system, and your body is going out and optimizing itself throughout. That's what we're doing here. So we created an incredible solution, a superfood solution called StemEnhance ULTRA. And it's a one incredible formulation that's made up of 3 aquatic superfoods. Aphanizomenon Flos-Aquae, better known as AFA, that encourages the release of adult stem cells, those repair system cells that we've been talking about up to this point. But it also encourages the release of the lymphocytes, your immune system cells, your white blood cells that we all learned about back in 9th grade biology class. Those are the ones that fight the invaders off that are trying to get into your body. Fucoidan, which increases the baseline of stem cells over time. So the more you take our product, right? Let's say whatever your baseline availability of stem cells is, let's just call that X, right? The more you take our product, the larger that value of X gets over time. So now, even after a while, just taking our product, your body now has more of those little microcellular repairmen now at the ready in all the different corners of your body. So when something starts to happen, they don't have to travel all the way from your bone marrow to get there. They're already out there at the ready, kind of patrolling your neighborhoods to see, hey, what's wrong? What's wrong? What can we help? What can we fix? So that goes up over time. It also has antiviral and neuroprotective effects. And then Mesenkine is a patented extract from spirulina that supports the release and the homing of the stem cells. Remember, even once we release them out of the bone marrow, they still have to figure out where to go. So that homing factor is critically important. Now, the other thing you notice, though, is when people take our products, they get a lot of other ancillary benefits as well. And that's because AFA happens to be one of the most nutrient-dense superfoods on the entire planet. It has 67 different vitamins and minerals and nutrients. It has powerful and natural anti-inflammatories, and also it has PEA. So that's the happy feeling that people get, right? The mood enhancement, the clarity, the focus. People start taking our product and they said, I've never had this level of just the mental brain fog gone. I haven't had it for years and years and years. Is that supposed to happen? I'm not complaining, but I wasn't expecting that. And that's because of the AFA that is prevalent within that product. Now, I will tell you that this isn't just superfoods though, right? It's super science. This isn't just us saying, oh, these products, they've been rumored to do. No. Guys, all of our products are backed by science and clinically proven to work. We've got 24 published research papers, and they all give that and said that they all give the results that you can both see and that you can feel. So just so you're clear here, I don't know how many people are really into research reports, but you can read them on our website if you want to. Some people say they read them and they make their eyes bleed because they're not used to reading these detailed research reports. But we're talking about double-blind placebo tests, right? That were done by independent labs and institutions to really prove how powerful our products was. Now, however, for me, as great as those research reports are, this was the study that really just sealed it for me, if you will. This was the one that just completed the circle in terms of really just logically making sense. Dr. Geeta Jensen, who is now the chair of Cerule Science Advisory Board, she actually was able to lead a team, and they were able to prove that not only was nutraceutical stimulated migration of stem cells, but not only was it possible and proven. In other words, you could actually take a capsule and it could increase the amount of stem cells that would move out of your bone marrow at any given time into your bloodstream. But they were then able to prove that those increased amount of stem cells in your bloodstream were directly related to a higher rate of cellular repair in your body. That was it, right? We can actually give you something all natural, made from aquatic superfoods that you can take that will instantly increase the amount of stem cells pouring into your bloodstream and can prove that those increased amount of stem cells are actually causing repair, microcellular repair at a much greater rate in your body. What else do you want? I mean, that was it. That was the grand slam, if you will, of all the scientific research about just how effective, these products were. So we have something for stem cells. And as I told you earlier, we have products that are just as good for inflammation, for circulation, and also for appearance. So we've covered the entire gamut with regards to our product line. And that's why so many people are excited around the world about Cerule entering into their marketplaces, because these are products that people truly, truly need and desire today without question. So the big question that always comes up when people take a look at our product line and say, listen, these products are great. I definitely see where I can use them, but if I was looking to somehow partner up with you guys, who would you say is your ideal customer? Who are you really looking for? And I always laugh when I hear that question, because I think it's just starting to become obvious of exactly who our products are for. Guys, our products are for everyone. It doesn't matter what age group you're in. It doesn't matter what type of shape you're in and what type of health you're in. I don't care if you're young and you're involved in sports and you're looking for an extra edge with workout or recovery. I don't care if you're older and you're just looking for, an extra edge with repair because things aren't healing up like they used to. Guys, and anywhere in between, our products are absolutely for everyone. And therein lies the massive, massive, massive opportunity. Because the number one reason why most people are not using these products is just they hadn't heard of them yet. The moment people hear about these products and they actually try them, they're like, oh my, how do I get more of that? And that's exactly the impact and the effect that you want from any product, which is why the company is expanding so quickly and why so many people are excited about helping us get the word out, because the products quite literally sell themselves. It's pretty amazing. Now, if you are one of those people who said, hey, I wouldn't mind helping you guys get the word out. I mean, I could use those products. And I know some other people who could as well. Well, then kind of let's switch hats here for a second. We're going to switch from our science and, hat, and we're going to talk about our business hat. And then we're going to wrap up this webinar for you in short order. Now, what we're doing right now is we're operating within a massive, massive market. We're within the health and wellness industry. It's $4.2 trillion a year, $4.2 trillion a year. That's trillion with a T. I used to always do this training. I used to explain to people, I said, man, most people, if they could earn $100,000 from an industry, especially, they'd be excited. And I say, so you want to be a massive, massive market? And just to give people an idea of how big $1 trillion was, I would explain to them that $100,000 was actually 1/100,000th. Okay. So 1 over 100,000, that fraction of 1% of $1 trillion. Okay. This is a massive, massive, massive industry. And within this massive industry, we're right in the center, Cerule being right in the center of several multi-billion-dollar segment. Skincare, anti-aging, supplements, superfoods, guys, it's incredible where we're positioned at. And we've got some designs on some new market verticals that we're going to be able to enter into as we launch additional products in our line that absolutely makes sense for our ravenous customer base. So again, you're going to be set up for now, and you're also going to be set up for deep into the future with what we got planned. Now, we're actually offering the opportunity to work with us here through a home-based business opportunity. I remember before I used to have to explain this. One of the interesting things that's happened now globally with COVID is that you don't have to explain home-based business anymore. You know, most people are realizing that not only would they enjoy the opportunity to work from home, they would actually prefer it, and they would also prefer having something that's in their control. That can't be taken away from them or doesn't have to change up their entire lifestyle. And if they could figure out a way to add value to a company and earn, a part-time, spare time, or maybe even significant type income from home, they'd be all in. So the way it works with us is we start with something called monthly commissions, right? And with our monthly commission program, if you're from this industry, this is going to make perfect sense to you. You've seen it time and time again. But if you're not from this industry, you're going to find it hard to compare to something that I call your outside world thinking, because most people have never experienced being paid like this. So the best way I can look at it is this. Let's say that you've ever gone to a movie. And I know it's weird, right? Because a lot of people are saying, oh, I've gone to lots of movies, just none recently, right? But if you've gone to a movie and you enjoyed it and you came out and you gave it the thumbs up, you know, and I know now some of us are doing that through Netflix, right? Same effect. We watch something on Netflix and we love it. And we're like, man, that was great. We're giving that Siskel and Ebert thumbs up. But what's very natural is when you see a movie that you enjoy, you actually go and tell somebody, hey, did you see this? It was awesome. And you should go check it out. And let's say it was your friend John who you gave that recommendation to. And John got so excited that he actually went to check out the movie. And it was a Universal Studios movie, let's just say for this example. Well, what would be really cool is when John went to see the movie, shortly after that, you got a check in the mail from Universal Studios saying, hey, listen, we just wanted to give you a referral commission for actually sending your friend John to one of our movies. He actually came through and he obviously spent money to get into the movie. And we appreciate that. We realized that if it wasn't for your recommendation, he may have never come to see the movie. So we think it's only fair that we give you a referral commission. You'd probably think that was cool, right? A little referral commission. You said, that's not a bad little referral program. That's cool. I remember that. But what would really kind of start to get your attention is if all of a sudden, month after month, you started getting additional referral commissions for John's movie habits, right? But you hadn't referred John to any more movies. And Universal Studios just said, look, John seems to like our movies and he keeps coming back over and over and over again. And we know that even though you may not have told him about these new movies, the reality is he may have never come to us in the first place, if not for your initial referral. So we only think it's fair that from now on, every single time that John comes and sees one of our movies and he spends money with us, we're going to actually give you a commission forever. That's right. For the lifetime of John coming to see our movies, as long as he's one of our loyal customers, we're going to actually give you this referral commission. That's cool, right? That's really, really cool. So you took a one-time action, but now you have the opportunity to be rewarded for that one-time action over and over and over and over and over again. They probably have your attention right there. But where they would truly have your focus is when all of a sudden you started getting those referral commissions for people that you didn't even know. So there's no way you referred them because you've never even heard of them before. And Universal Studios says, listen, by the way, we forgot to tell you, we don't just have a referral program, we have a multi-tiered referral program. So you see, you told your friend John and he got so excited, he started recommending other people to our movies, who started recommending other people, and so on and so on. And all those people are coming and they're all spending money and we're earning revenue. And we said, listen, we know all that revenue tracks back to John, who tracks back to you. So therefore, we thought it was only fair that anytime any of those people came to our movies and spent money with us and we made money, we should give you a piece of that for the rest of their lives as well. If that's how Universal Studios work, let's face it, you go out and tell the world to start seeing Universal Studios movies. Or you want to make sure you had as many lines of referral, commissions coming in as possible. Well, unfortunately, in the real world, Universal Studios doesn't work like that. But in the real world, that's exactly how we pay at Cerule. You see, if you decide that you like what you see here tonight, you'll have the opportunity to become an independent business owner with us, an IBO for short, independent business owner, IBO. And as an IBO, you can now take advantage of our multi-tiered referral program. Every single person that you have that tries our products, some of them are going to actually determine they want to become our customers, or your customers actually. And some of them will determine they want to do the same thing you're doing. They want to be IBOs because they like this and they know other people that will as well. Either way, those are all personal referrals. And as they're ordering products every single month, all of that sales volume, we'll aggregate all of that sales volume and we'll pay you 10% because those are your level one, your personal referrals. You get 10% of that aggregated sales volume month after month after month after month, year after year after year, potentially decade after decade. But the better part is that those IBOs, remember that multi-tiered effect, those IBOs that you personally refer, as they go out and start referring people as well, you'll end up with a second level of referrals. People that you don't know, may have never met before, but that's okay because you got it started. So we're going to give you 5% of the aggregated sales volume of all of those people. And then on that third level, it's 7%. And on the fourth level, it's 5% again, and so on, all the way down through 7 levels. So for going out and exposing just a few, you could end up with 7 levels in this multi-tiered referral system. Now, that might sound exciting, but you might think to yourself, well, yeah, but what does that really work out to in dollars and cents? So let me give you a really simple example. And I'm going to intentionally keep the numbers small here just to show you how this works. Let's say on your level 1, right? You went out and you referred simply 3 IBOs, 3 people who said, you know what? I see this. I'm looking for a way to make some money from home as well. I know people who could use these products. They're awesome. And I want to become an IBO like you. And let's just say for the sake of sake, right, that each one of those IBOs, again, keeping the numbers small, they were each only responsible for just $200 of volume in a month. So that could be just their personal consumption, or that could be the consumption of them and somebody else in their household, or maybe it's their consumption with a couple of customers. Doesn't matter how they do it. Just $200 a month. It's actually, if you're going to have a couple of customers, it's kind of hard to only have $200 a month, but that's okay. $200 a month. So a total of between the 3, $600 of volume. Well, at the 10%, which is what you get at that level, you're earning $60 a month, right? Residually, $60 month after month after month after month. Now, I know that's not all the money in the world. Just relax. We're getting started here. So on the second level, we're just going to show your people how to do what you just did. We'll show your 3 how to get 3. So now you got a total of 9. It's now 9 times $200. It's $1,800 worth of volume. And at 5% on your second level, you're now picking up an additional $90. So now $150 total coming into your household month after month, not all the money in the world, but I want you to remember something. We don't pay through 1 or 2 levels. We pay through 7. So as this goes from 3 to 9 to 27, right, to 81, et cetera, these numbers start to stack up. So even though we're talking about you doing very little and then simply showing people how to duplicate it, you can see that can still grow to be a pretty significant monthly number. And by the way, this is monthly. This is $24,000 per month, month after month, year after year coming into your household. Now, for some of you, that may be more money than you're making right now. And because it's more money you're making right now, you might say, never going to work out. Perfect theoretical example. I'm not falling for that. That's more money than I make. And I've been working at my job for 20 years. There's no way I'm going to build this and make more money than I make at my job. And listen, guys, let's say that you're right. Let's say that you try to do this and you didn't get it exactly right. You messed it up by 50% and you were pulling an additional 12 grand a month. Would you be okay with that? In fact, let's say that you messed it up by 50% or even 50% again. And after building this business on a part-time, spare time basis, you were still able to build a $3,000 a month, which means you got it, you're nowhere near perfect. Okay. But you're still pulling in an extra $3,000 a month, month after month, $36,000 a year on top of what you're earning at your full-time job right now. Would that make a difference? I think the answer is yes. And I think if you thought about what you would need to do at your job right now to get a $3,000 a month raise, you would realize that for most people, there's nothing they can do to get a $3,000 a month raise. So this is probably a good alternative for you. Now, for other people, the 24 grand a month, you're not excited about it. You're like, I'm looking for big rips. I'm looking for big change. I thought you guys were going to show me something amazing. And I want you to remember, I intentionally kept these numbers small. One of the things I love about the monthly commissions, they're completely uncapped. You can earn as little or as much as you want to. It's all going to be based off of the efforts that you put in. So we talked about you just going out and finding 3 people. What if you wanted to work a little harder? What if you want to, instead of finding 3, you wanted to be a superstar and you go out and find 4? That's right. Just 1 extra, not a lot, just 1 extra, just 4. But now that 4, instead of 3 getting 3, it's 4 getting 4. You might not think that would make a big difference in this bottom line number. Think again. Over $150,000 just by you adding 1 extra person, duplicating that activity. Now, no, I'm not promising you, hey, so just basically sit back, do nothing, and make $150,000 a month. What I am trying to tell you is this: whatever it is that you're looking for, we can show you a game plan how to get it done. Remember, it's an uncapped income source, and you don't have to do a lot. You just have to be consistent, and we show you how to duplicate it. And as it duplicates and the geometrics kick in, you can find yourself earning potentially some substantial revenue. Now, we also have our monthly commission matching bonus plan. I love this. Here's what it is in a nutshell. We just talked about what people can earn from their monthly commissions, right? But the reality is you're going to be introducing people to the business, and they're going to also be earning monthly commission checks. So let's say you introduced your friend John, and John goes out and he's one of those people who's a superstar, and he builds up that $24,000 a month check. Yay, John, you're awesome, right? You know why you're really saying yay, John, though? The reason why you're saying it is because on top of everything else, you're going to get a matching bonus off of John's production. Once you get up to these levels, right, then you can earn anywhere from 3 to 5%. So all the way up here, you're talking about 5% of a matching bonus from John. So if John, every time we pay John $24,000, we're going to pay you a $1,200 bonus above and beyond everything else that we're paying you. The best part is that's not just for John. It's for every single person that you personally introduce. That's your level 1. But where it gets better is John introduces 5 or 10 people, we're going to pay you 4% matching off of their checks, and then 3% matching off of their people's checks. So for just introducing a handful of people, you can find yourself getting dozens or hundreds or thousands of matching bonus checks over time just because you got it started. We also have rank advancement rewards, guys. Very simple. When you can actually hit these levels of volume in a calendar month, we give you these ranks. So you do $1,000 of volume in a month, you're a 1K level. 3,000 in a month, you're 3K level. We're pretty simplistic here with our levels, right? 7,500, you're 7.5K, right? But the reality is whenever you hit those positions, in addition to everything else, we're going to give you one-time bonuses for doing it. However, this is whenever you hit those positions, right? If it takes you 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, you'll get these bonuses. But if you want to do it fast, we consider that to be extra value. So we give you extra reward. If you can actually go out and hit the 1K level in 1 month, $100 instead of 50. If you 1 month after that, you can hit the 3K level, $300, right? Instead of 100. So we triple that bonus. And these bonuses go up and up, and they're huge, right? Over $10,000 worth of bonuses just for operating on what we call the fast track. We also offer a car allowance for you, which is pretty great. Okay, you can get any car that you want, but once you get up to our 15K level or above, we're going to start paying you these commiserate car bonuses all the way up from $150 at the 15K level a month to the $1,500 per month at the Chairman's Club level. So again, $1,500 a month, pretty much just about any car that you want. You pick it, we pay for it. You get to driving around. We think that's a pretty fair deal. And by the way, we've got some incredible global travel incentives. And you want to get back to the person by John, because we've got some, we've relaxed these qualifications this month to make it even easier for you to join us in Hawaii at the end of the year. Or for the president's trip, we're actually going to New Zealand at the first quarter of next year. You can join us there as well, just for being able to get to this level of president. And again, we've relaxed the qualifications. The person who invited you on, they can let you know what those relaxed qualifications are. Finally, we've got the thing that I love, the global bonus pools, because the reason why I love this is because I think it's the ultimate leverage. I think if you're going to do anything like this, you should always be looking for more and more leverage. And this is the ultimate leverage. Up until now, what I've talked to you about is how you can actually be able to profit from your efforts in building your own team. But once you get up to these top levels, starting at the 100K level, you now are able to participate. You get a share in a bonus pool that is representative of 1% of the sales of the entire company. So now you're not just getting a piece of everything that's happening on your team, you're getting a piece of everything that's happening on everyone's team in the entire world. You're getting, that's like ownership, right? That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. So when you get to the 100K level, you get a share in the 100K bonus pool. But when you get to the President's Club level, you're now getting a share in a separate bonus pool for presidents only, as well as your other share in the 100K pool. So now you're in both pools, but as you might imagine, there's less presidents than there are 100Ks, which means your share of this pool is a bigger number. And when you get to the chairman's club level, again, a whole other pool, but there's far less chairmen than there are presidents than there are 100Ks. So your share of this pool is a lot larger, but guess what? You're in all three pools, all three bonus pools. That's awesome, right? That's awesome. That's incredible, incredible leverage. So how do you get started? Let me run through that, and then we're going to wrap up here. Simple. First, the person who invited you on, they'll give you their membership link, and you can actually go and you can get signed up with the company. You'll find there's a $25 annual membership, and that's going to give you your own personalized website with a fully functional e-commerce shopping cart. So you don't have to try to explain all these products, or you don't have to know anything about websites and setting them up and advertising. We got all that. We've done all that. It's simple, right? You also get access to discounted IBO pricing, the best pricing that you can get. At the end of the year, for your taxes, we'll actually cut you a 1099. So you don't even have to keep track of that. We're doing it all behind the scenes with our software. At that time, you're just going to pick a pack. We've actually separated this into two categories: our starter options for personal packs, if you will, and then our actual business packs. So if you're looking to do something just for yourself personally, or maybe for your, for just your household, you can get our 1-bottle starter kit pack, which is a 1-bottle pack. You can get our 6-bottle skincare pack, right, which is exactly what it is. It's any 6 bottles, mix and match any way you want them, of our skincare products. Or you can actually go all in and get our Fast Start pack for $2.99, which is 6 bottles of any products that you want, including our nutritionals, which are obviously a little bit more expensive than our skincare products. So again, you can mix and match any way that you want it. Now, if you do this one though, which is probably enough for you and your family, we're going to also give you free shipping, and we'll give you access to a bonus product page as well. So it's pretty cool. But we know that for some of you, you're not looking just to get some products for you and your family. You're looking to build a big business. And for that reason, we added our 3 business options, starting with our Pro Pack, which is $4.99. You get 11 bottles, which is more than you would need for yourself personally. So now it gives you the opportunity to have product that you can have for sampling or for retail out there. It's just a way for you to go out and start having some inventory to basically be able to build your business right out the gate. For doing that, we're going to waive the $25 enrollment fee, and keep this in mind, we're going to grandfather you at the rank of 7.5K for 30 days. So you're going to start at a higher rank right out of the gate, which means you get paid deeper in that bonus commission line that we talked about, the monthly commissions. So you're scooping up more money right from day one. We also have our Elite Pack, which is 22 bottles, $9.99. And for that, we're going to grandfather at the 15K rank for 60 days. And then ultimately, our all-in practitioners pack, grandfathered rank of 25K for 90 days. This is also the very best pricing that you can get on products. It's 35 bottles. So it's the very, very best pricing that you can ever get for our products. So pretty amazing options for you, depending on what exactly it is you're looking for. But they also open up one final way for you to be compensated, and that's our weekly enroller bonuses. The way that these simply work is this. Let's pick the Fast Start Elite. What this means is that if you went out and you found someone personally who said, I want to be an IBO and I want to get the Fast Start Elite pack, well, they would get that pack, and within the next weekly bonus cycle, we would pay you $325 as a bonus for the product value of that pack. So it's a $325 bonus that's going to be paid out to you during the next weekly business cycle. That's pretty good. What's even better though is, remember, we like that multi-tiered thing, right? So on a second level, it means that if somebody that you introduced personally, right? Let's say your friend John again, John went out and he found somebody who wanted to be Fast Start Elite. John would get the $325, but you would get the $50 override second level bonus. And that goes down and down and down through a total of 6 levels. Guys, just to understand how powerful this is. Let's say that you went out and built this. We found that the people who get started at these higher levels, they tend to build a little bit faster and a little bit more efficient, right? Because they're all built, they came in to build a big business, and that's what they're doing. So let's say that you came in and you're building this business, and instead of 3 getting 3, like we talked about for the averages, let's just talk about a 5 getting 5 model, because you're building with these big business packs. Well, look at the bonuses here for each level, and look at what that adds up to over time. And remember, there's no time limit here. You could take a year to do this, 2 years to do this, 3 years to do this, 4 years, whatever you wanted to. But once you had actually built out this model, you'd be talking about over $250,000 that you would have earned in weekly bonuses all along the way, just because of this one extra bonus. So this added a lot of value to Cerule's pay plan. It gets a lot of people excited as well. So listen, we're heavily engaged on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We do a lot of contests. We do a lot of connection here, a lot of training. So you'll have the ability to basically learn how to utilize social media or just participate in if you're already an expert at it. But I think the other thing is we make this really easy for you. A lot of times I talk to people and they say, this is great, but I'm not a salesperson. I'm not a salesperson. I'm not a naturopath. I don't know a lot about supplements and the human body and et cetera, et cetera. And the reality is, listen, we didn't build this for those people. Do those people join our company? Of course they do. They love it, right? They join our company every single day. But you know who else joins our company? People who have never, ever, ever sold anything ever, maybe even terrified of selling. People who don't know anything about nutritional supplements, right? People who have never been in this type of industry before ever. We built it for the average person to have the opportunity to have above average success and to be able to do that by not worrying about being a product expert or a great salesperson, but just by being good at sharing information. If you can simply get good at getting people to take a look at a website, or maybe they prefer to read their information so they can read a brochure, watch an online video, or attend a webinar like this. Think about it. Somebody invited you to this webinar tonight. The entire time that I've been talking, how hard have they had to work? Get the point? You can get people in a webinar like this. Somebody like me can do all the heavy lifting, but you get to keep all the financial muscle. That's a pretty good workout plan, right? And that's what we're doing here, giving people all the tools they need. We're always creating new and creative ones, all the tools that you need to have a real shot at being extremely successful with our opportunity just by sharing the information or by sharing the products. Even an incredible app that allows you to walk around with the business in the palm of your hand every single day. So you're never far away from it. You always know what's going on, and you always have the ability to connect with people and give them the information that they need to make an informed business decision. So guys, listen, we've got these one-of-a-kind wellness products. We've got testimonials backed by science, a pay plan with unlimited earning potential. You decide what the ceiling is, or no ceiling at all, completely up to you. The tools, the training, and the mentorship to succeed. Our training program is pretty incredible. So we want to make sure you have the very best opportunity to succeed, and the ability to capitalize on several current billion-dollar market trends, as well as future billion-dollar market trends as we launch new products here in the near future. So if this makes sense to you, again, I'll finish it the way that I started. Get back to the person who invited you on. You got to do that. Get your questions answered. And then once your questions are answered, make an informed business decision. I look forward to actually working with you. If you decide that you want to work with us, that would be awesome. Look forward to meeting you personally, first maybe initially via Zoom, like something like this. But in the future, when the world opens back up and we can actually be in the same place at the same time, that would be great to meet you at one of our future events and recognize you for your incredible success in front of your other Cerule family members. And listen, even if this isn't for you, if the business opportunity just doesn't make sense for you, try the products. I promise you, your body will thank you every single day for trying our products. And if you try them, you're going to want to keep using them. No question about it. You're going to thank the person who invited you here. And even for you, I will tell you, I appreciate your time here, and I wish you great success in all your future endeavors. So for everyone here, thank you so much for actually indulging me tonight. Thanks for taking a listen to this presentation. Hopefully you found it helpful. You got some value out of it. And again, for those of you that do decide to work with us, let me be the first to say, welcome to Cerule. Look forward to meeting you, look forward to helping you, and look forward to celebrating you and all your future success. God bless you, everyone. Have a great night, and look forward to seeing you again soon.